today we are going to discuss the arm muscle. Okay, our limb, the second topic is we have the second muscles. In first shoulder guard we already discussed. Now we have arm muscles. Okay, and arm muscle we are division into two groups. Okay, arm muscle division into two groups. First is anterior are flexure group. Okay, second we have posterior are extensor group. Okay, anterior group we have 3 muscle and posterior group we have 2 muscle. Now we will going to discuss each muscle. First we will going the first group muscles. Okay, anterior group muscle. Anterior group of arm muscle. Anterior are flexure, because this why flexure, because this muscle help in flexation. Okay, flexure group. I will write 3 here. Okay, because we have 3 muscle. First muscle we have brachialis muscle. Now origin and insertion of this muscle and function of. First I will do, this is the anterior view of humerus, this is the posterior view of humerus. Okay, anterior view of humerus, because brachialis muscle is the anterior group, flexure group. Okay, this we will talk about, we will need to discuss the origin insertion of this muscle in the group. Okay, now here I will draw, because here we have radius laterally, and here we have ulna bone. Okay, and here we have radial ulnar tuberosity. Okay, and here radial tuberosity. Okay, now if you will talk about the brachialis muscle origination from here, anterior diaphysis of the humerus and inserted to the ulnar tuberosity. Okay, and inserted into the ulnar tuberosity. These are the origination and insertion of the brachialis muscle. Means anterior diaphysis of humerus bone and inserted to where? Ulnar tuberosity of ulnar bone. Okay, these are the origin and insertion of the first muscle of the anterior flexure group muscle, brachialis muscle, which are origination from the anterior diaphysis of the humerus bone and inserted into the radial tuberosity. Because this is a bone, and this bone we discuss, we have epiphysis, diaphysis, proximal epiphysis, diaphysis, and distal epiphysis. But this is anterior diaphysis, this is anterior view. That's why we call this anterior diaphysis, and anterior diaphysis of the humerus bone and inserted into the ulnar tuberosity of the ulnar bone. Now function of this if you talk about the function of this muscle give flexation, because this is the flexure muscle. Okay, flexation of elbow joints. Okay, now the second muscle we have coracobrachialis muscle, the second muscle of the anterior group. Okay, in arm muscle we have coracobrachialis muscle. Now here coraco means coracoid process of the scapula, and brachialis is the same. Okay, brachial region. Okay, brachium means hair, arm. Okay, and interbrachium forearm. This is the Latin word. Okay, if you will talk about origin and insertion, then if coracobrachialis, here is the scapula, and here we have coracoid process. It means this muscle are in attachment from here and coming to here. These are the muscle. This is the coracobrachialis muscle, And this is coracobrachialis muscle. We have origin from the coracoid process, coracoid process of scapula, and insert into the anterior diaphysis of humerus bone. Okay, this is the origin and insertion. Here interior diaphysis of the humerus bone is the brachialis muscle origination and insert into the ulnar tuberosity. But for the coracobrachialis muscle is coracoid process of the scapula is origination and insert into the anterior diaphysis of the humerus. If you talk about the function, then function of this means flexation and adduction. Okay, now the third muscle of the anterior group, we have bicep muscle. Bicep, because if you will talk about bicep, it means this muscle in anterior group, flexure muscle. Okay, now brachii muscle. And what is the meaning of bray means two, chi means two brachii muscle, and brachii means two heads, means one is short head and second we have a long head. Now I will show the short head and long head of this brachii muscle. Okay, here we have infraglenoid cavity. This is supraglenoid cavity, and this is infraglenoid cavity in the glenoid region. Okay, now this muscle origination, this is the long head. This is a long head of this muscle, and if the second short head is origination from the this is the origin, true belly here, and these are coming, and here in one place they are in a tendon form and insert into the bone. Okay, and this insertion here coming here, and this which tuberosity? Radial tuberosity. Okay, this is the brachii muscle whole, because brachii muscle, the big bellies, venters. This is the brachii muscle. Okay, if you talk about the short head is origination from the coracoid process of scapula, and long head I told is origination from the supraglenoid tubercle, because in glenoid cavity we have there two tubercle, one is supra and one is infra, means upper one and lower one tubercles. Okay, supraglenoid tubercle. These are the origin and insertion. This is only origin of the short and long head. Okay, because insertion is the same in one point, and insertion is a radial tuberosity in radius bone. Radial tuberosity, it means in radius bone here, radius tuberosity. These are inserted here. Okay, this muscle, these two venters coming in one is a tendon form and inserted into the tuberosity. This is brachii muscle, two heads, short head and long head. Short head, coracoid process of the scapula, and long head is in supraglenoid tubercle and inserted into the radial tuberosity. And if you will talk about the function of this function, it means flexation. Okay, flexation of the arm. These are the three muscles of the flexure, because this help in flexation. These three muscle: brachialis muscle, coracobrachialis muscle, and bicep brachii muscle. Okay, bicep. Okay, bicep brachii muscle. Bicep brachii means his two heads. Okay, now we will going to discuss the posterior group of the arm muscle. Posterior group we have two muscles. Okay, two muscle we have. We have two in the posterior group muscle of the arm region. We have posterior group. Posterior group are extensor because this muscle help in extension of the arm. Okay, group. Two muscles. Okay, I already told. First muscle we have unconeus muscle, unconeus muscle, unconeus muscle, and unconeus muscle. This is the posterior view because now we are talking about the extensor muscle. Extensor, then we have posterior view of the humerus bone, and here we have radius, and here we have ulna. Okay, ulna bone. Now, if you will talk about the unconeus muscle here, from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus is origination and inserted into the ulnar tuberosity or ulna bone. Okay, or interior surface of the ulna. You can say no, not interior. Sorry, because this is posterior view. This means origin from the lateral epicondyle of humerus bone. Okay, and inserted into the ulna bone. Ulna bone. Okay, you can write also ulna bone. Okay, ulna bone. Now, if we'll talk about the function of this muscle, because this muscle help in the supination and extension of the arm humerus. Okay, arm region. Now we have the second muscle of the second muscle is very important for the when someone doing exercises or physical work. Okay, like mostly gyms, they mostly know about the tricep and bicep. Okay, bicep is we have anterior group, and posterior group we have tricep, and tricep means three heads. Tricep brachii muscle. Okay, from tricep means three heads. Okay, if you talk about the three head of these muscles, one we have long head, second we have medial head, and the third one we have lateral head. If we will talk about the insertion of these three heads of tricep muscle, these three head bellies of venters of these three muscle heads are inserted in one place, but origin is different. If you talk about insertion first, then if you know the posterior side of the humerus, distally we have olecranin's what? Olecranin fossa, and this olecranin fossa for what? Olecranin process of the ulna bone. Okay, now if you will talk about the origin of different heads origin, then you know here in the diaphysis of the posterior view of the humerus we have one groove is called radial groove. Okay, if you talk about the medially head of tricep brachii muscle, it means is origination below the radial groove. Okay, and if you talk about the this is I need to write here below the radial groove. Okay, and if you talk about the lateral head of this muscle, it means this muscle lateral head is originated from the above of the radial groove, radial groove. And if you talk about the long head, and I already told we have here glenoid tubercles. One is supra one now, and then second one is infra tubercle. Supra is origination from the what, brachii muscle, okay, bicep muscle, and the infraglenoid tubercle for the long head of a tricep muscle, okay, infraglenoid tubercle, okay. Infraglenoid tubercle, it's mean tricep brachii muscle origination, long head origination from infraglenoid tubercle, medial head is origination from the below of the radial groove, and lateral head is the above of the radial groove, because this radial groove, you know, in the posterior diaphysis of the humerus bone, okay. Now insertion of these three heads by tricep muscle is inserted into the ulnar, olecranon process. I already told you, olecranon processes of what, of ulnar bone, okay, ulnar bone. And if you talk about the function of this muscle simply extension of the elbow joints, okay. Now these are the brachium muscle, or and brachium muscle, if you can say in musculus brachium in Latin, in English is arm muscle, okay. We have two groups, anterior group flexor muscle, posterior group we have extensor muscle. Anterior group we discuss three muscle, brachialis muscle, okay, coracobrachialis muscle, and bicep muscle, okay. Then we have posterior group extensor muscle, we have unconeus muscles, and then we have tricep muscle. These are two heads, and third heads this one. This is also coming and inserted into here, okay. These are the tricep brachii muscle, okay. These are our topic about the arm muscle of the